All right, good morning, good evening, good night. It's another episode of the Layer 1 podcast. The first time ever that the Layer 1 podcast is going live. It's a big moment, and I've got a big project on, and we were having some interesting talks before we pressed live. So shout out everybody that it showed up early here. If you're not familiar with Lad City, we are a content network and cross-project social token community. If you want to check us out, go to ladz.city and check out our awesome community. We have a lot of enthusiasts from around the globe. But I want to get to my guest here, Jerome D. Tichet. Hopefully I said that right. He is the chief economist at Cometh. We are going to have ourselves an awesome conversation on Cometh and DeFi and NFTs. It's going to be amazing. How are you doing today, Jerome?
I'm doing perfectly fine. Super happy to be featured on your podcast, and moreover, for a podcast named Layer One, to be there as a representative of one of the most active application on the Layer Two is actually quite a good moment to be in, judging from the price of the gas price today. Yep, happy to bring everyone to Layer Two right now.
We might change the name of the episode to Layer 2 podcast just for you guys, just for this episode. But we're going to talk everything Cometh, ComethSwap, the Must token. You guys are doing awesome things by gamifying DeFi. We talked before the episode. It is something that needs to be broken down, and you guys are doing a lot of different things and features within your ecosystem. So we're going to get to a lot of that, but we're going to start with the first pressing question here, Jerome. Do you own any Dogecoin?
I don't. I mined some Dogecoin back in the days with my graphic cards, like just trying it out. I did an attempt to bridge. I participated to an attempt to the overall initiative to bring Dogecoin to Ethereum. It was kind of a hard technical task to actually bridge the two blockchains, verifying the hash algorithm from Dogecoin on Ethereum. It was a cool challenge. I don't remember who won it in the end, but I don't own any Dogecoin. No.
Well, it quickly became apparent to me that when I was doing my background research on you before this episode, that you have a large background yourself and a really phenomenal, fantastic background. I think you found crypto in 2015. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but you have this fantastic background. You're at Consensus. You do a lot of things with ETHCC in France. All of these different type of events and different communities that you've been in since pretty much the beginning of Ethereum. So take me through your background in finding crypto and then getting into Ethereum and then making your way to where you are today.
Sure. Happy to talk about me. Thanks for bringing this up. Uh, so indeed, I found about crypto back in, I think it was 2011, something like this. I was attempting a PhD in France, in university. And I met a guy at a conference, research symposium, that was reading the white paper of Bitcoin, telling, "Hey, some guys are trying to build money without central banks." So I got interested. Like started to read stuff, started to get interested into the Bitcoin ecosystem. I have a background in doing gaming, like in the early days of esport, like 200, um, 221. Yeah. When was my first local arena network? I don't even remember, but early year 2000, 2001, 2004, 2000, 2005, 6. Back in the days, we were just winning graphic cards when we were playing Warcraft or Starcraft. So it wasn't a great day to be a gamer, but
You're a Warcraft
anyway.
fan, a Warcraft fan. Hold up, I'm a huge Warcraft guy. So
I mean, I'm a pretty good Warcraft free player.
okay, maybe.
So we switched to doing some team game right now, and just do the live podcast this way.
Yeah, but maybe we'll
I've,
PvP one time, 1v1.
yeah, I did well. Happy to play at some point. Like if you want to do another session where we just play Warcraft and common stuff. Like I still play a little bit when I was to take the heat off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I accumulated lots of graphic cards and got into building my own computers. So naturally, I was interested by the mining aspect of it, like like participating to the mining efforts. So I built a couple of mining rigs out of GPUs. So back in 2013, I got into this, and it was a pretty bad investment because right at this time the FPGA were coming in the market.
Hmm.
So it's a dedicated, not super optimized, but yet dedicated hardware to mine bitcoins. So the people having GPUs were getting outclassed, and then the ASICs came out, and like yeah, so it's just not a matter anymore. So I had a small mining operation and found out about Ethereum because I was looking for something to mine with my GPUs.
Hmm.
So eventually, I mined some Dogecoin, then I mined some Ether, and this is how I got into the Ethereum community. So back in the day, 2015 in France, the community was quite small, but yet burgeoning. We had a strong community of Bitcoiners and other early protocols. And this is how with a couple of friends, we created a nonprofit called Asset, like an asset with an H. And English speakers were always coming to us like, what would you call anything as if? Like,
I, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that too, but go ahead.
yeah, and on the side, some of us were contributing to Ethereum France, a community website that
Mhm.
at some point we just realized that the brand Ethereum France were much bigger than the brand As Eth. But I still own As.eth, like the nonprofit Ethereum friend owned the ENS name As.eth. So if you like to get Zach.as.eth, I think we can take this offline.
I'll hit you
And
up for that. Jerome,
sure,
one thing while you're talking through this, I'm gonna pull up the tweet thread that you have pinned to your profile so that we can have some images that go along with it.
sure.
But go ahead, keep going. I'll try to follow along.
so we well, as that if was in the documentation of the ENS initiative from Ethereum. Like if you wanted to get a three letter name, that's how you should do it and so on. But anyway, back in 2016, I got recruited by Ernst and Young to start their blockchain initiative in the EMEA region, so Europe and in the neighboring countries. So I managed a small team there, and this is really where things got started for me. I was an economist before in the public sector and para-public sector, so close to the syndicate of the bosses and so on. I worked for the European Commission as a statistician and so on. And I started my career in the blockchain space professionally speaking at Ernst& Young. Then I opened the Paris office of Consensus that I led for 3 years, the initiative towards enterprise there. I met lots of people from the space, and in 2017 we started to do this conference with Ethereum France called ETHCC, bringing people together as a nonprofit company and trying to organize a cool conference. And recently I joined Ledger, which I'm still working on right now. I have a day job at Ledger where I help our customer in the B2B space to use our products, because Ledger is also having a B2B oriented offering. And Cometh has been a dream of mine for quite some time, and I was able to cut the interest of the different contributors that we have in the in the website. So people from Aave, people from Gnosis, people from Stake Capital, from all type of extractions that really found this approach cool, and this is where it got started. Like we started to develop stuff and went live, and now we have a game that's 100% built out of blockchain, which I think it's an interesting approach, right? When you look at blockchain in gaming, usually the people are like, well, I got a game, let's put some blockchain into it.
Mm.
Let's create an asset that lives on the blockchain so that I have some blockchain aspect into it. But it feels like you're looking at the car with a classic engine, and you just remove the engine and put an electric engine into it. So that's great. But where do you put the battery? Oh, we gotta put the battery there, and then you got a weight problem, a weight distribution problem. So we built Cometh as the other way around. Like we took the electric engine as a starter and built around it to optimize the thing. So if Cometh, well, if Cometh was a car to the blockchain gaming, it would be the Tesla. Like everything is built out to optimize the blockchain around it.
Mm.
So everything is blockchain based. Like all the assets are ERC-721 and moving ERC-20, and all the game mechanisms are built out of blockchain. So it brings lots of problems, like lots of constraints, but also lots of opportunities. So it's super fun to see it evolve and see it grow. And yeah, we're having tons of fun doing that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the move to layer two and making sure that your game obviously is usable and utilizing Polygon and ComethSwap as well. But what we were talking about before the episode is when you mash essentially DeFi and NFTs together, you get this situation where you have a lot of awesome features that synergize well, but to a newcomer, it seems like almost too much to get involved. It's like, wow, there
Yeah.
is so much happening here that it is just
Yeah.
impossible to figure out in unless you want to take the initiative. So how do you go about kind of the user acquisition like portion of this, and how do you kind of make sure that it's simple for people to come in?
Well, we came to the conclusion that for 5 years I've been trying to explain blockchain to people, and I bet you may have too. Like
Yeah.
sitting at a party with a drink and be like, yeah, so blockchain. There's too much to grasp, and like, what do you do with your ether? Oh, I put them on Aave, and then I get a loan, so I can go long on Aave directly on the thing. What?
Yeah.
Every time it's a struggle. I came to the conclusion that the best way possible is just to tell people to put $40 into any crypto and start to play around. Like just do something with it. Like try it out. Like if you were to pay, if you were to if you want to know how to ski, if you want to learn skiing, like you don't bother paying $40 for a lesson and get in that. So pay yourself a lesson. Get some crypto and try it out. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But for my experience, it's been a good way to onboard people. So we sort of try to replicate that with Cometh. Like there's a lot to grasp, but if you put a couple of dollars into the game and try it out, like you can actually play and earn some token in it. Okay, so the game is easy to grasp. Like it's a classic strategy game where you pick up a position, you jump on another position, and you end up somewhere. So yeah, like it's I think it's a good narrative to have, and this is where you are thrown into the pool. Like suddenly, like you need to learn to swim, you need to learn to evolve in this, because what you are actually going to acquire as token inside Cometh are DeFi token or liquidity pool tokens. So you are actually straight up into the DeFi space when you are playing Cometh in a way. And I think this is a good way to start, because you will be a gamer, you will be interacting with other gamers, like talking about how the game works, talking about what the tokens that you got in the game work, and eventually get into the most welcoming community possible, like DeFi degens that play games, that just will sort of like, hey, this Alchemix 2 Must token, it's an LP token you can get a yield on if you put them on the farming, and then you should withdraw that and put that on Aave and then get some yield. Yeah. So eventually, like I think I think it's an ambitious approach, but we are trying to make the experience as seamless as possible with easy crypto to fiat on ramp, sorry, fiat to crypto on ramp, and also wallet management that we are trying to optimize, so you don't have to install MetaMask, you don't have to do this and that, and yeah.
I see. So as a new user, and I'm actually pulling up your webpage here, I've gone over the homepage. I'm in the collection portion. What is the easiest way for me, not being a traditional or a long-term user of Cometh? What is the easiest way? Do I hop into the collection? I purchase I purchase one of these spaceships on OpenSea, and I'm able to then interact with the platform.
Yeah, not quite so. Like it would depend, right? It would depend how much you want to invest in the game, like how much you want to put in the game, because there are different ways you can get involved. In order to play the game, you need to control a spaceship, and I insist on the term control, because you don't really have to own one.
Hmm.
I dropped in the chat the link to our apps, app.cometh.io. If you can click on that, you'll have a broader view of what's available. So if you want to play, you can indeed purchase a spaceship. But purchasing a spaceship, like any NFT in the NFT boom, is quite expensive. So you can find spaceship for cheap on secondary markets. I think you can find something for 10 or $20. You may be able to find a spaceship.
Hmm.
The most cool spaceship and the most rare spaceship are expensive. So I wouldn't recommend that someone completely new just get in and say like, wow, 0.5 ETH for a spaceship. What the heck? Where do I get ETH? So for that, we have something else. Like there is a rental service called Cometh Rental. So you tap rental.cometh.io and you are thrown into a rental service where you can just rent a spaceship for a day. It acts a little bit like an arcade game machine where you would put a couple of dollars, you get to rent a spaceship and start playing with it. So as a new user, you don't have any crypto, you have MetaMask, at least you have a wallet. You can get some crypto on Matic by either transferring it from layer 1 to layer 2, which if you don't have crypto, it's tough, I know. But you can go on ComethSwap and purchase crypto with a credit card. So now you have crypto. Now you can rent something for in order to play. And now that you have rented a spaceship, you just go play. Go on game.cometh.io and try it out. Try to play the game, and hopefully you'll make a couple of bucks out of mining a comet. You'll have a tons of fun jumping on other spaceships and interacting with other players. But that's not the ideal scenario, right? It's still a little bit clumsy. Like you need to jump from one place to another. You need to have a wallet. You need to do this. You need to do that. So that's something that the team, the tech team, is really focusing those days. We are integrating something called Fortmatic, or Magic Link, previously known as Fortmatic, where you can log in with your just your email. So you put an email, and then Fortmatic handles a public key and a private key for you in a secure hardware module from AWS, I think. And then you have access to a wallet without having actually access to a wallet. Like you don't have to get too much constraint about it. And then you can move around from the different applications with just this wallet as a way of logging in, and you don't have to care anymore. Like you can go your merry way and play around like that. So that would be the ideal onboarding scenario. Like you are a new user, just put your email. Okay, so now you need to purchase some crypto or send some. All right, and now go rent a spaceship, or if you're super serious about this game, go buy one, and now enjoy and play. Right now, the game is just PvE, player versus asteroids, so PvA. But pretty soon it's going to be PvP, and we hope to have something that's close to other MOBAs like League of Legends or Dota 2.
So I want to talk about ComethSwap and how that plays in to this, but I did give you sharing access. I know you were talking about some of your game features that were potentially going to be available. I don't know if we still want to do that. If you can potentially take some of the guys or guys and gals that are listening through kind of a visual of what Cometh looks like in game, I think that would be a really good experience. If not, that's completely fine too. We can
absolutely. Just give me a second. I'm opening the proper pages. Let's see if we have a comment passing by right now. All right, so let me share my screen to see if that works.
There we go. We're good.
So as I was saying, you can rent a spaceship there. Like you go on rental service and you select a spaceship to rent. It's funny because, like as you mentioned about the collections, like the spaceship represent different partnerships that we had with Badger DAO, with Pickle Finance, with Avegochi, and so on, and Alchemix, and so on. But the game itself looked like this. So that's my spaceship. That's my beautiful Chancellor. I got this spaceship as a liquidity provider on the layer 1. So we also airdrop spaceships from time to time to liquidity providers. This is one of the solar systems. There are 3 solar systems: Sol 1, Sol 2, Sol 3. And I just got a notification that a new comet was just appeared on Sol 2. So let's see what's up in Sol 2. Yeah. So as a player, I'm those green spots here. So that's one of my spaceships. And the goal of the game is to position yourself close by to the trajectories of the comets when they are passing by. And in order to do that, you select any other players. So let's say this guy, for example, it's a pink drone. If I want to jump on this guy, I'm going to pay 0.00045 must. So let's say I try to jump. I get the MetaMask pop-up in here. Let's see.
This is all happening on Matic?
It's all happening on Matic. Don't have to pay any gas fees, or it's negligible gas fees.
Mm-hmm.
So after I will have I will have jumped. When the pooling process will be over, I'll be jumping to another position.
So just visually here, is that why all of those in the top left corner? That's why you see kind of a line of. Is that a line of players there that are waiting?
Yeah, that's a line of players. So whenever a comet is passing close by, people are just organizing themselves to
Yeah.
be. Oh, here I go. I just jumped and I arrived there. If I want to change the solar system, I have to be in reach of this portal. Um, and when you arrive on the game, usually you see that you see this board here, and you see the different spaceship that you have. You can check out the leaderboard and so on. But by just play, the game loads, and it will make lots of requests to Matic just to load the state of the game. So sometimes it can take a couple of seconds to load. But after that, you see everybody in here. So that's another solar system. Oh, right. There's a
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah. I think this one is going to be there in maybe about 10 or 20 minutes. So we'll see. And the players have already started organizing. Look, they're already starting to get close to the comet direction.
Okay, so those are active players moving.
Yeah. We have 2,000 about 2,000 players in total in the game. So looking at this on those three solar systems, you see Sol 3 is 500 or so. Sol 1 is 1,200. Sol 4 is 400. So of course, some players have multiple spaceships. From our estimation, people have about on average 1.05 spaceship per person. And they are super active. Like we have 400 players active daily playing the game. So you can imagine, like if the Japanese section of our Telegram group is like 400 players always shouting in Japanese. I don't understand what they say yet. Maybe I'll pick up Japanese later. We have a huge Spanish community. We have a huge Russian community. We have a huge American community and a huge French community. And they get together. Like we have people streaming the game and passing by saying like, hey, I've calculated that we need to be there, guys. So they organize themselves and they jump. So as the comet will come closer, you'll see lots of people jumping all direction.
Got it. I'm interested in the PvP aspect. You mentioned that you guys are going to add that feature here. I wonder if all of these communities are going to kind of band together and try to. I don't know what your features are with those PvP actions, but it's definitely adding a lot of, I guess, another whole type of way to play the game. Obviously, PvP adds a whole nother aspect.
Yeah, exactly. So there's different ways of seeing PvP. So the way we're going to roll this out is by opening new solar systems. So right now you have Sol 1, Sol 2, Sol 3. We have a new type of comets that's going to be released also in a matter of days that act with the rovers. So you have to drop the rovers on the comet to mine and pick up the rover. So if you wait too much, you might have nothing left to mine. If you don't wait enough and you are going too soon, you might have not mined enough. But anyway, so we are going to create a new solar system for those test new features, and we are going to deploy a stadium. So as a players, if you want to do PvP, you just join the stadium, and on that you can apply for some comets. So imagine you're joining a game of Dota. Just the game is filling out. You are just transferring your spaceship into this game, and it acts like a whitelisting features. So if this is a game with team versus team, and there would be 4 comets, then you need to actually be in one of those teams, and everybody in the stadium is at the stadium at the same moment, but not everybody sees all the comets at the same moment. So if I am players in these solar systems and I've committed to these comets here, I will only see these comets there, and the other players won't see it. The other players that haven't committed won't see it. So we use this whitelisting features of the Cometh smart contract to actually act as a matchmaking for a small game server, actually, from a video game perspective.
So we have a comment from the community that says new comet in Sol 3. Night Covers is saying new comet Sol 3.
Oh damn. Okay. So there's this comet, and it's going to be a tough time to reach it. So let's see if we can grab it. So I'm there, and you see people are dropping from everywhere. So let's see. So I can do multiple ops. I can try it out, try to position myself differently. I'm not really looking at how much I'm going to pay for this jump, but Yeah, damn, seems tight. It seems tight. Let's see if we can reach this Comet. Oh man, this is how the randomness plays out,
Okay,
because sometimes your transaction is taking long to actually be loaded into MetaMask,
I see.
or sometimes it takes some time for Matic to actually broadcast your transaction and connect you with the miners. So sometimes you're
We're
just
gonna be
like, oh
cutting
my god,
it close. Yeah, this is awesome, man. We
oh
got
man,
we got comment. Oh, did you get it?
no, I didn't get it.
Oh,
I was $1 short from this.
mm.
Let's try to get it from the outside there, right?
So I think it's important to kind of break down that this is gamifying DeFi, right? It's not just a game that you're playing. It's more so yield and being able to, have assets that are yield bearing interact visually, right? Almost like in that game format. So what you're seeing here is might be what happens within a DeFi platform, but you're actually experiencing it
Yeah,
visually within a game format.
that's right. And if you look at this Comet, it has some LP tokens from the DEX. So whenever transactions are being held in a decentralized exchange like ComethSwap, there is a fees that is being taken out of the different trades, and those fees are converted into LP tokens that we send into the different comets.
So
So as a players, you gradually become more and more involved in bringing liquidity to the DEX. And ComethSwap is focusing on listing tokens that are linked to DeFi in a way, like either a token that represents
hmm.
a share of a vault on the layer one, or things like that. So I'm going to do this little tactical push here.
We will see if we get this one, guys. And I do want to jump into ComethSwap because we haven't really touched on the genesis of that and how it plays into the game. I know you touched on it briefly there, but I think for the uninitiated, it would help explain some good
Yeah, it's
references.
not
But
like I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like damn. So as you can tell, as I'm not super good at playing this game, because most of the time doing a presentation on how it works. So let's see.
so are
Oh
you
man,
going? Do you need to be in direct line with it in order to hit it?
I need to have the comet inside the
Sphere.
inside it. Yeah.
Oh, so you just missed it.
MetaMask is so slow. MetaMask is so slow. That's awful. Oh man. And then the randomness is how quick is my transaction going to be? Oh yeah. I'm this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one's gonna hit.
Yeah. Let's look at it from the big view. Yeah. You see it appearing on the top. Yeah. I'm definitely in. I'm definitely in. Yeah. Right. Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Barely touched it, but that's enough. I had a small pop-up saying I can mine. I just click on it swiftly, and this next transaction is going to extract some of the tokens that were on the comet.
Got it. Okay, so let's hop out of this visual here, and let's talk about ComethSwap and talk about how that plays into the game because it's a big feature. You guys have a decentralized, automated market maker there,
Yeah,
much like a quick swap, much like a Uniswap, and it's actually tied into the game. And the fees from ComethSwap actually play into the game itself. I think that's a huge feature. I would love for you to kind of break that down for the newbies.
yeah, indeed, and that's so. I bet anyone that has been doing stuff on Ethereum is familiar with this kind of view. You see the yeah, you get the classic thing here. You get the swap, you get the pool, you get the farm, you get the charts, and so on. So ComethSwap was born like about a month ago, and we are not trying to go super fast into having lots of liquidity, lots of activity, and so on. We are gradually constructing a place where you can trade DeFi. So we expose token like the stake DAO tokens, which is an aggregated strategy protocol where you can take a strategy to place some coins into curve pools, for example, into arbitrage. Doki Doki Azuki is an NFT game that lets you randomly choose new tokens. Um, yeah, Node Runners, Pickle Finance, Alchemix, those kind of tokens that we list on ComethSwap. Yeah. Um, so anytime there is a trade on ComethSwap, there are fees that are being taken out for the LPs. So as a user of ComethSwap, you will pay a little bit more fees than you will do on other swaps like Uniswap or QuickSwap. Like the base fees is not 0.3%, it's 0.5%. So it's more oriented toward people that wants to swap a couple of hundreds or a couple of hundreds max. Otherwise, these fees are going to start waiting in your budget. But two things. First, you get access to exclusive tokens in this, and some of these fees are brought back into the game. And as a liquidity provider, you get a better deal because you get a better share of this. We think that most of the activity when it comes to settling big trades are going to stay on layer one, and layer twos are the perfect place to do small trades, to do small activities, small tactical things. And this is why we wanted to have ComethSwap as a way to offering these kind of services to people. A wide range of super cool DeFi tokens that you can grab with very few fees, gas wise, and still very small fees in terms of transaction fees. And on ComethSwap, you get this buy button here. That's a fiat to crypto on ramp. So you can pick USD if you want. From what we know, this is the cheapest ever way, the cheapest available way to get crypto on the public key, straight onto a public key. So swapping some USD to DAI, I'll get 96.7 DAI out of 100 USD. It's a service brought to you by Ramp, and Ramp network is really slow in terms of fees. Like Cometh doesn't win any money on this. It's just purely the fees of Ramp. And you can get crypto right on your public key on a usable network that is Matic, your Polygon Matic right away. So we're really trying to target people that want to hop into crypto, don't know where to start from, and just want to try it out, have a couple of crypto on their account. And if they feel it's cool, just start playing the game, start looking at it. And we are going to advertise the different tournaments, different cups, different events that we are going to do inside the game on this. So hopefully people that play around with it get interested into that and will want to dive a little bit deeper, get into the game, get into the different features that goes in this.
It's such an interesting addition to an ecosystem, having a automated market maker actually be created by the team and tied to the game. When you guys started Cometh, did you know you were going to make ComethSwap and kind of have the two work together?
Yeah, the plan was to it started out as a very community-led fun project where we were saying like, well, what can we do that will build that it will bring a comfortable ecosystem for people to start hopping into crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way to have people start hopping into crypto is to actually make them play, make them earn some tokens, make them be exposed to this. So, but this is not the end of it. Like if you stay on layer one, like you will be eaten by the gas fees, and it's impossible to tell someone that he has to pay $40 for a transfer. If he or she have to move $10,000, like you will be like, what the heck? Why am I paying this much? So first the layer two approach, then the game approach, and the game in layer two approach made a lot of sense. And then looking at the NFTs, and then we could accrue some form of yield or some form of return on those NFTs. It was evident that we needed to expose some DeFi primitive onto that. So the initial thing was to say how much we can bring of the DeFi activity from the layer one to the layer two. And there's two approaches about that. Either you tokenize the activity and you bring it to layer two, which is ComethSwap, right? You look at the different strategy vaults that exist on the layer one. You bring these tokens to the layer two, and you let people take position on those strategy without having to pay the gas fees of the layer one. And the other way to do this is to give people straight interaction between layer two and layer one from the premises of the game. So if you had a token on the layer two and you wanted to deposit in Curve, well, since today you can deposit directly in Curve, which is great. Curve is live on Polygon, but before that you needed to have a layer, to have a bridge between this. And in Cometh's white paper, that's described as the melange and refinery, and that's two concepts that we will continue digging. But so far, the ComethSwap approach does this as a first step towards bringing exposure to those super cool layer one DeFi tokens directly from the layer two.
When you guys made your decision to move to layer two, and let's go back actually. Let's take one step back there. You launched Cometh on ETH layer one to start. Did that actually?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. No, I mean from a layer of settlement perspective, all the NFTs live on layer one.
Okay.
So that's kind of the problem. Like we emit the tokens on we emit our new spaceship on layer one, and as a newly bought a new purchaser of a newly minted NFT, you will have to transfer it to the layer two.
Okay.
Uh, so to make up for the loss in terms of gas fees, because you're going to pay a couple of like $20 or $30 depending on the situation of the network to transfer your NFT to layer two. You can also buy NFT directly on layer two. There is a market for this. There is matic.opensea, but we emit the new NFT directly on layer one. So indeed, we started with our first NFT sales back in January, and those NFT were emitted on OpenSea layer one.
Okay.
You know, it's a bummer, but when you cross the bridge and arrive on layer two, there is an airdrop, like a form of cashback for your purchase. About 30% of what you paid for the NFT is actually brought back to you in the in-game token that we have, the must token. So it make it up for the fees that you have spent to transfer. So we have to keep a common layer one as a source of truth, as a source of storing our asset long term. So they are in existence on this layer one. But Cometh initially was planned to be deployed on another layer two than Matic. We explored a lot the possibility of deploying on Arbitrum, an optimistic solution built by a super good team, off-chain. I think it's off-chain labs behind it. And Arbitrum is really it's really an amazing network. It works. It's off-chain labs. It works perfectly fine. It's really a good network. The problem is that they were delaying their go live, and we wanted to have the game up and running. So it brought good knowledge into the team on how we could deploy on different layer twos, on how flexible we can be with different layer twos. Right now we are happy on Matic. I mean, it's a good layer two with lots of synergies and lots of other activities happening apart from us. So the arrival of Aave, the arrival of Curve are really good signals that we are happy to participate in. But we will be able to switch from other layer twos if need be, or if I don't know, like Binance chain really wants to have Cometh. Maybe they will do a copycat. Maybe they just ask us to deploy there. I don't know. But that's the approach. Like we started to sell the NFTs first on layer one, and then when the game was ready, we deployed the thing on layer two and take people by the hand to migrate to the layer two.
Yeah, I mean, it was completely necessary. You couldn't have the interactions you just showed me live on Ethereum mainnet. So I guess the reason that you guys moved to Polygon initially, did the Polygon team reach out to you and say, "Hey, we have this kind of layer two solution here," or were you guys kind of going out and doing your own research? I know you said Arbitrum. I might have not said that right, but we have some Binance Smart Chain users who are definitely interested in that continued growth of the ecosystem. Where do we go from here as it comes to layer twos? Like what I just want to get your knowledge, having built on Polygon there.
So there is no layer two there is not one layer two to rule them all. All layer twos have their advantages and drawbacks. It's hard to tell. Well, initially our choice for Polygon was the liveness and the availability of a trustless bridge to get in and out. So bridging to Matic is twofold. You can either use the proof of stake bridge, which lets you deposit with the stakers of Polygon, acknowledging that you have done a deposit, so making your token appear on the other side. And there is a trustless way to get out. So we really wanted to have our users not being unduly tied to a couple of stakers, even if the stakers of Matic are really diverse and numerous. So we wanted to not expose ourselves to these debates of is it centralized enough, is it decentralized enough, is it like, and so on and so forth. So keeping this option of being able to transition without anyone is good, even if the trustless bridge take a lot of time. Like it can take up to 7 days to get out, but you don't need anyone to get out. So the simple existence of this option was promising enough for us to make a move there. And then in terms of how good Matic is or is not yet, I mean, we've seen a lot of evolution on Matic in terms of resilience of the platform, in terms of usability, in terms of tooling. I would love to have Etherscan on Matic. That's something that I don't get on Matic that I can get on Binance Smart Chain. I don't have it. So I think the Explorer on Matic is not as good as it could be. I think the analytics tools are not extremely great. Like we don't have Dune Analytics Matic, for example. So from a developer perspective, it's well, from an economist perspective, I like to look at numbers and have a clear view on what's everything going on. What is the matter?
Yeah.
But on the side, I'm happy to have OpenSea Matic, which brings a lot of synergies between the layer 1 and layer 2. So that's cool. I like to have Aave on the side. I like to have now Curve and Aave. So we're getting there, and that's I think it's great. I hope that Matic will have better infrastructure support as well. I hope that we'll have infra at some point and those kind of thing to make our life easier. And from a user perspective, like not paying the gas, like, what a blessing.
Once you're on the chain, when you start to experience it inside your MetaMask, you're like, wow.
I think I've done 2,000 transactions on layer 1 since I've been using Ethereum. And I've done 6,000 transactions in a matter of 2 months on that.
Yeah. I mean, once you get there, it's an entirely different experience, whether that be Matic or Binance Smart Chain, all of that good stuff. So, Jerome, this has been a great podcast. We're going to continue here for a little bit longer. I've got some more questions, but I'm going to open this up to the community here. We have the live chat.
Time flies.
What's that?
Time flies. I mean, I haven't looked at the clock, but indeed.
That's how you know we're having a good time here on the layer 2 podcast, if you will, for today. But I'm going to open this up again to the community, guys. If you have any questions about Cometh, if you have any questions for Jerome, definitely drop them here in chat so that we can then ask them. Jerome, I've got the partners that you've had recently up on my screen now. There's some Avagachi. You mentioned Badger DAO, Pickle Finance, a lot of good partners to have in the ecosystem here, and a lot of good features. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. I'm sure all of the teams were awesome, but what was your favorite team to work with in these different partnerships?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I have to say I really love the Pickle Finance team.
Why is that?
They're so fun to work with. They're progressing. I mean, and I think the spaceships are just radically cool. Like I love cruising in space with a giant pickle. I tried to purchase the mason jar. I lost the auction personally. Like it was a big bummer for me. And I think they're doing just great. Like they're doing so many things, and I hope to see them on layer 2 pretty soon. I think if we were to start with a good cup, it would be the pickle cup, because those spaceships were really successful. But apart from them, like everyone is every partnership that we did was super cool. I had tons of fun working with them. I can't wait for Badger to be live on Polygon. I think it's in their roadmap. I hope it's in their roadmap, and I hope that they will be there soon. The Aavegotchi is, of course, the elephant in the room. They're super active in the space, bringing people to the layer 2, and that's amazing. So yeah, I love them, and I also love the next collaboration that we will do will be awesome as well. We're going to announce it maybe tomorrow or the next one. We did a very cool partnership with YAM as well, that is still under construction. Like we did a contest on who we could design the best spaceship, and the YAM team was just so nice, so easygoing, and rewarded pretty cool design from the different spaceships that were created. So yeah, it's really nice.
I'm going to see if I can pull up those yam designs via Twitter, but I do have some comments in the chat that I wanted to get to. It looks like you have some agreements. Nicholas is saying, pickle, of course. Have you seen the pickle ship? No other reason needed. We have a question from Llama, who's one of our main moderators. He's one of our main proponents of moving Lads, our social token, to layer 2. So we had a discussion pre-episode, Jerome, that we could drop right now. Maybe he's asking, can we have some Lad starships? Maybe not Lad starships initially, but what do we think we have planned for next week?
I think next week you'll be able to buy some LADs directly from ComethSwap.
Boom.
Yep, the token, the LADs token is being mapped on the Matic bridge. You will be able to move some LADs to the layer 2, like provide liquidity there, sell them there, buy them there, whatever you want. And yeah, so like so cool. And the next steps will probably be like further things, like why not an NFT collection at some point? Why not, like we have a pipeline of partnerships that we create for those new collections. I'm very keen to explore that with you folks.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, Jerome. That's great to hear. And our community's loving it. I can see them in the chat. Guys, if you have any more questions, throw them in here. Jerome, you said earlier that you were a big gamer. I'm big into MOBAs. I'm a little bit, big into FPSs these days. Not so much RTS. But what is the future of gaming within the blockchain space? What does that look like? What is NFT? I know NFT gaming is kind of coming along. What do you see as kind of the future of gaming in that mesh with NFTs?
I'd love to have a definitive answer to that. I'd love to be able to say like, hey, this is the way to go. One thing that, I mean, one thing that I love, and we are trying to make emerge with the Cometh ecosystem, is having a leaderboard of pretty good players, having a leaderboard of individuals that love to play and get recognized for this with the transparent reward. Like it's the reward that you got in game. Like your track record in game is there. Like if I was trying to pull my old account on Battle.net in Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, I probably won't have any stats anymore, which it's absurd. I played 3,000 games. Like I don't even see that anymore. Um, so one thing that we're going to try to make emerge with Cometh is personas that are players deep into the game, deeply skilled into the game, having lots of fun into the game. Not technically having the most expensive spaceships or the most powerful spaceships, but being able to rent them for special events. Like I wanna be in a situation where the expensive spaceships I got from being a liquidity provider, or the expensive spaceship I bought because I love the design. At some point, we have a cup with tons of money to win for the best players, and I'll be able to go to the best players and say, hey, do you want to rent my spaceship? Here's the deal I propose to you if you play my spaceship. Or maybe I will even pay you if you play my spaceship, because I know that on the secondary market I'll be able to have this spaceship sold at a higher price because Zach was playing this spaceship in the Cometh World Cup. And that's the thing, the way I want us to go. And I hope that also games will explore the same direction, so we can have cool metaverse interactions. Like you have an Aavegotchi, and in game you see this animation of having the Aavegotchi floating around your spaceship. That's the way to go, I think.
The longevity piece that you mentioned is super interesting to me, because like there's so many gaming experiences that happened with people who are like, people got married in games, like when it came to the big MMOs, and those things just
my wife in World of Warcraft.
yeah, but on some games, like you're saying, I mean, I played a ton of Frozen Throne myself. That stuff doesn't exist. It just completely goes away. So the longevity of assets of just your gaming experiences, that's a really cool point that you made there. All right, guys, hit me up with some more comments before we get done here. I think you guys are still in shock over the ComethSwap news there with Lads. Jerome, this has been a great conversation. Is there anything we didn't hit on Cometh that you want to touch on? Maybe the Must token we could.
Yeah, it's the token funneling the game's economy, and get some Must. Enjoy the game. Like you need some Must to play. So that's the base utility of the token, is to pay for in-game experiences. We will release items and new fun way to play the game in the coming weeks. So you'll be able to get some. You'll be able to get some as well.
Is there any hint that you can drop on the partnership that you're possibly working on? Don't give away too
Next
much.
couple of days. Uh, yeah,
Maybe
I can tell you that we are bringing justice to
there
the
you go.
to the layer two.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Uh, okay. I don't see any more comments, guys. I will wait another 30 seconds, but this has been a great podcast, Jerome. The last question I do have that I ask every guest is a book recommendation. So if you have a book recommendation, could be crypto, non-crypto. If you have one, just give us that recommendation.
I what did I read recently? Oh, I get some tough shit on my desk. Wait a second. So that's what I'm reading right now. I don't really recommend this book because it's pretty well.
Network crowds.
It's the it's better.
Yeah.
So it's networks, crowds, and markets. It's a theory book on how you connect, how you resolve the networks problem in economics. Yeah, and a book recommendation that's not that heavy to digest. I highly recommend to read. I have to find something cool now. You got me off guard with this one.
No worries,
Um,
man. No worries. You did a great job in this interview, so take your time.
Uh, yeah, well, Thinking Fast and Slow is an amazing book, even for someone that is not an economist. Like it's lots of powerful ideas that give you another way of grasping what's happening in the world.
Mm.
Um, and and yeah, well, yeah, I highly recommend that. And if you want to read something that's about what's happening right now in the world, there is a story called the Decameron from an Italian poet called Boccaccio. I don't know how to pronounce it. Boccaccio. I don't know how to pronounce it in English.
Mm.
And the Decameron is short stories in medieval Italy happening during the Box waves. So cool short stories of people falling in love and having a giant epidemic around this. So yeah, the Decameron it's a cool one.
Cameron. Okay, I'll put these. I'll put all of the links that he just, or all of the books that he just talked about, in the description, in some type of link that I can get to you guys. But Jerome, great conversation. I mean, it's not often that I have a guest on that I can say, hey, we're gonna work together like this week, right after this. So I'm excited to kind of get with your team and see what we can do with the Lads token here. But definitely a great interview here. Thanks so much for being the first live guest and working through this with me on the Layer 1 podcast, man.
Anytime, man. And you know what would be even cooler is that you guys come to HCC in Paris in July, like end of July. I don't know if you'll be able to travel, but maybe you will. Like hopefully you will if you get vaccinated and things and so on. The 20, 21, 22 of July, like coming to Paris, and we will do another live session like in situ this time.
Sounds like a plan, man. I love this interview. I love all the stuff that we're talking about, and if we can get over there, we will 100% make it happen. So thanks again.
That's cool. Cheers, mate. Cheers, everyone.